and welcome to episode 36 of the Brawler Gamers podcast. This week, as always, I'm joined by my wonderful co-hosts, Cameron.
Hey, hi. Work it.
Yes, this is Cameron. And Charlotte.
Hello. Good evening.
This week, I put in some Call of Duty news. There's been a little bit of E3 stuff, which seems insane, but it is going to be May in like a day or two. So I guess, that's not too far out, just scary. But first, I think we should take a look at a song of the...
There's only one piece of news that matters this week. Is that Xbox ANZ is also releasing a Corgi controller.
Oh my god.
And that's it. That's it. 100% that's it.
Okay, should we do Song of the Week?
Yeah, let's do... Can you please transition us to a Song of the Week? I stay up too late. Got too much left to play. Keep going every day. Going every day. I play too many games. They're always on my brain. But I've only got till May. I've only got till May. But I keep boosting. Can't stop, won't be losing. It's like I've got to do this, and I'm online saying it's achievement time. 'Cause I just got a game. And the Chivo's gonna rain. And I'm just gonna play. Working hard. Woo-hoo!
Quite obviously the laugh was for the woohoo.
Oh yeah. No,
First comment I want to make is fuck you, because I'm going to get categorized for knowing this song.
look, I know the song,
Well,
obviously. It's fine. I mean, to be fair,
okay.
I know, but it's going to be like...
The song was my alarm for 3 years.
Right, so you definitely know it then.
Oh, 100% I know the song.
Okay, Cameron, you know the song.
Taylor Swift.
It is Taylor Swift, yes. You know.
I don't know the song name, but I know it's definitely
Oh.
Taylor Swift.
All right, well, okay. Charlotte.
Shake It Off.
It is.
Oh,
Shake It
yeah,
Off.
okay.
Well done. To be fair, in my defense, I did get the inspiration from listening to the Postmodern Jukebox cover of the song, and it is so good.
I haven't heard
So
Postmodern
good.
Jukebox in so long. They just such amazing.
Yeah, I love all this stuff. I'm still gutted that we didn't get to see them.
Well, they're going to come. They will be back.
Yes.
They will be back. The tickets are still there.
If they can find the island.
Yeah, right. Well,
Hey, they've been here twice already before, so I'm pretty sure they can find it again.
Yeah.
It's not that hard to find.
Martel in chat asks, when do we get a live performance of Song of the Week? Funnily enough, I mean, I used to do a live performance of the song when we recorded RGS with it before it was live. So, basically, instead of doing a pre-recorded version for the show, because you could still edit it and that sort of thing, I used to just sing it, and it was. It usually took me a few takes. I will tell you right now, there were good days and there were bad.
That's not live though.
Well, I mean, it was live for the people listening.
Yeah.
Which
I mean, the problem is with doing it live on a live stream is that I'm usually listening to the original song as I sing it, and so timing is always a little bit iffy. But
if he's given a song he doesn't know, or a modern song that I've told him he has to do, he's like, I don't know the song at all.
That's true. It's a lot more difficult.
I need to add a milestone. I need to add a donation. Not a goal, actually. A donation next week. Have something.
I will sing it.
We could write one on the.
Yeah, let's do a live song of the week.
Stream.
All right, I'm happy with that.
We could do a full song.
Yeah.
A full song.
Yeah.
Fuck. All right. Well, yeah, sure.
A full song. Oh my god. Do you know how hard it is to even get 2 verses and a chorus?
You know what we should do? We should do the achievement hunting version of 4 chords.
Oh my god. I mean, to be fair, I feel like I've already done that. I mean, so many times.
Yeah.
Some of the songs I've done are 4 chord songs. Because
we could legit just edit them all together and do that.
Oh my god.
Or we could go back through the old episodes, clip all the song of the weeks done so far.
That's what I mean. We
And
could
just guess
literally
them.
take all of ours together
I mean, I did go back and listen to all the songs of the week to create these song of the week playlists. So, you know, it wasn't the worst thing in the world, and I got to go back and listen to all the great ones that even like the ones I didn't do, which is like fantastic. I love listening to those. But yes, it was "Shake It Off" by Taylor Swift. Good job, guys. And yes, like I said, we've got some commentary. We've got a treason in the chat. It says it's a 10 out of 10 song, which appreciate. I'm assuming you're talking about my version of the song, not the original. But yes, we do this show live on Twitch every week. Hall of Gamers Pod is the place to find us. You can come say hi in the chat, ask questions, interact with us. I'm surprised we haven't got annoying sound alerts on our stream as well.
Which one of you are pointing it?
What are you talking about?
I was going to say, who you were attacking there?
Who are you attacking? Which one of us? Because
actually, he only watches your streams, I've noticed, so it must be you.
I don't watch anyone's streams, to be honest. Look, all right,
my sound alerts are great, I'll have you know.
I mean, I know, I edited them for you. I had to listen to them.
Are you saying you don't like a seizure-inducing version of Sandstorm with rainbow lights and KFC Zinger boxes?
Look. As much as I love that, Cameron, you're always on brand. That brand is pretty fucked. All right, I'm just saying. All right, you just that's man.
Okay, very quick segue. Me and my friend went to the tip today to go get rid of his mattress and all that. And we were talking about when we used to work at KFC when we were like 15 and 16.
Yes.
And for whatever reason, the first thing that jumped into mind was, you know what Crushers are, yeah? Crushers, the dairy milk drinks that they got rid of?
They still have them here, I think.
Okay.
No, they don't. No,
They
Crushers are gone.
They got rid of them.
No, they haven't since COVID.
Oh.
They got rid of them because they weren't making any money off them. But I
They also
remembered...
tasted like shit.
Yeah, they were not great.
They were good here.
They were fucking awful.
We used to have Gone Gay Time once.
Okay, well maybe that'd be better, but still. Anyway, Cameron, get to your story, please.
Anyway, randomly, just in the front of my mind came the thought of approximately 12 or 13 years ago when I was on break, dumped an entire solo bottle in dairy mix without me realizing.
I'm sure that went well.
It was... I don't know why I had to share that now, but...
You see, Cameron, this is why you have your stream. I think we've discovered the reason why you want to be a streamer. It's just because you're like, hey, you know what? I have this weird anecdote from my ridiculous life as a kid.
My life is chaotic.
That and the dad jokes.
Yeah, exactly. It's like dad jokes and KFC memes.
100%.
Which, to be fair, like I like both of those things. All right, let's get into the news. We don't have a guest, as you can probably tell this week. So we're going to be kicking back a little bit and just kind of going through the news. And who knows, this might even be a show that gets under 2 hours. I wouldn't fucking bet on it, but yeah, we've got some E3.
Not likely.
Exactly. So we've got some E3 chat to go through. So Xbox and Bethesda have announced that they're going to be doing a showcase on June 12th, which again, E3 is cancelled, so it's Summer Game Fest or whatever.
Can I just first comment with that is, thank God it is still on the Queen's birthday holiday. Australia.
Oh, yeah,
Tradition for me every single year is having the Monday off. Glad that gets to continue this year.
Do you know what my tradition is? My tradition is going the fuck to sleep and then waking up and just going to Kotaku or wherever, or actually just TA.
Okay.
All the
the mistake you made then was going to Kotaku.
Yeah, okay. To be fair, so when I was looking for news today, I actually went to Kotaku. Was the first search result that came up, and I was like, that doesn't seem right. And I went and clicked on it, and I was like, wow, this is the worst website. But I'm excited. I'm excited for E3 season, video game season, trailer season, trade show season, whatever you want to call it. So Xbox and Bethesda are going to do a stream, which, no surprise. What are they going to talk about, I guess, is the question.
First thoughts with it is it too much to have Xbox and Bethesda together?
Well, I think I think it will be together. I think because they announced it as like a joint showcase. I mean, I think that'll be like a long gush.
I mean, like, is that still a good idea? Like, I mean, like last year, it was good in the sense of like it was trailer bang, trailer bang, trailer bang.
Yeah.
Whether that
Because that's what I
continues.
was going to ask. Because I'm trying to remember from last year, and I feel like was it combined last year or separate?
It was
combined.
combined last
It
year,
was
but then they
combined, yeah,
had
that's what I
these.
thought.
They had the second show. I want to say like a day or two later with in-depth
Mm-hmm.
like interviews.
Yeah, which they again
Yeah.
that's nothing new, right? They've always done that. But no, last year, yeah, I remember because they had that weird like sort of stage because they were all socially distancing.
Yeah, that like big round stage. Because I watched it the next day, all 3 hours of it. And I remember there was that big section that was just Bethesda,
Yeah.
and then they cut through to the other bits. Yeah.
Yeah, so there was like, oh, Halo, and then it was something that was like Bethesda block, and then it was back to the game studio stuff. So, I mean, what yeah, are we excited? Is there anything interesting?
I mean, I'm excited just to see what else is coming out. Like, there's a whole bunch of games that I'm like very keen to check out, but I don't know. Like, I'm more leaning to the indie space these days.
Sure. Yeah, I mean that's kind of. I mean, are they gonna? They'll do an indie sizzle reel with a bunch of small stuff in there. I mean,
I'll tell you the one thing I'm like really keen to check out that's coming out this year. Replaced.
yeah, I remember you talking about that, right?
Like the 2D pixel, I believe it was pixel art kind of side scroller.
Is that the Cyberpunk one or is it the? No,
yeah, the Cyberpunk like esque one. Like the screen was kind of like tilting as we went along.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, and it was like very the trailer looked really good for it. I like didn't know anything about the game, but
I mean, it's good when a game trailer gets you that hyped that you're like, all right, I need to check this out.
I mean, I vaguely remember it, which is more than I can say for most trailers. But I think I think the big question is now that Tunic is out, what's going to be the other thing that they show for 5 years in a row and never gets released? Because it's got to be something, right? Is it going to be the new Hollow Knight?
Skyrim sequel.
Yeah,
the Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
Do we have coming out that they're going to show off?
Okay, just before you rattle off a list, I'm just thinking, do you guys feel the same way that you felt last year? Because I'm kind of looking at this kind of stuff, and we've had similar discussions in the past, right? When we were like, oh, maybe they'll do, maybe they'll talk about Fable, maybe they'll talk about this. I'm like, they still never talked about Fable. There's still so much they haven't done. I feel like there isn't really a lot of new stuff that we don't already know about. But again, how do we know if we don't know? But
there's also a lot of games that we haven't heard more about because there's been delays a lot, and like it's interesting for me because this is like my second time watching E3, and I remember last year being really excited about it because it's brand new into Xbox. I'd only been playing since the tail end of April, so like 2 months before E3 came out, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And now it's kind of like that's where I'm going to get all my news for the year.
Yeah,
because I don't go looking for it apart from on the podcast once a week when you guys tell me, and I get all my news from you guys, which probably is not the best way of doing it. But
well, you saying we're unreliable to get your news from?
No, I'm just saying you're very, very biased.
That's true. Like, yeah,
I mean, like some people
potentially informed.
Some people on these podcasts worry about completion percentage.
I mean, like, okay, so I think really the distinction is that Charlotte is uninformed and we are misinformed. And
yes,
I think you really just
that's a good way to put it.
You kind of
so yeah, I know. E3 is where I get my news from. And like for me, the biggest thing for me right now is Harry Potter. Like I don't hide that. I'm very excited about it. I also just am a bit nervous because I don't know how it's going to turn out. So it'll be interesting to see if they bring out more gameplay or whether it's just the 15 minutes that we had, right? Because we've already seen 15 minutes worth of gameplay for that game. So
I think that, like, because I was thinking about that as well, right? Where it's like, okay, maybe.
And Starfield.
And obviously, Starfield is obviously the big Xbox Bethesda thing, right?
And then there's Redfall, and like I'm trying to think of all the other ones from last year that we haven't got yet, right?
Yeah, and like and that's just Bethesda. Oh no, sorry. Well, Arcane is doing Redfall, right? And we haven't heard anything about that.
Yeah, nothing. We've heard nothing since last E3, right?
And that was just rumored to be coming out this year.
There was leaked like alpha stuff, and then rumors around come to fruition.
Well,
and then there was that news story that I found that they were looking for staff. They were like looking
Yeah.
to hire people. They were hiring like
But
they
that's
had like 5 different roles and multiple people for those roles. I'm like, huh.
that's also the
That's weird.
fact that Arcane's like has in so many projects.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean,
Well, even
because you have-
Bethesda.
well, Bethesda in general does, obviously. Like, if we go through what Bethesda have, like they've got the so they've got whatever the new Elder Scrolls is going to be, which they'll get to at some stage. I think that's in like pre-production. They've got Starfield, they've got Indiana Jones, which I think Machine Games is working on. They've got Redfall with that, and that's kind of it, I think, for now, right? Like, I don't know. It's
I'm trying to think.
well, I guess, yeah. Are they working on a new? Is id working on a new Doom? I mean, that would probably make sense.
That's the thing. Like, we're either getting a new Doom or a new Wolfenstein. Because
Yeah.
Wolfenstein 3's been rumored for quite a while as well.
Yeah, well, that was the thing, right? Like they kind of allude to it even in Youngblood and that kind of stuff, where it's like, like they need to clean up the trilogy, and you have to fight Mecha Hitler at the end of it at some stage, like Magic House points out in the chat that exactly. Quake reboot does sound like potentially could be a thing, which makes sense. I think actually, I think it would be an interesting property to go back to. People have a lot of nostalgia for it, but
they've been doing quite a lot with Quake recently. So it makes sense with all the games coming to Game Pass and that.
True. Yeah, now they own all that stuff. I wonder if we'll see some of the. I wonder if we'll see again. Like, it would be kind of weird, but maybe they talk about Ghostwire Tokyo and what was the Deathloop, because those are eventually rumored to be coming out. I guess Ghostwire Tokyo is probably still too soon because it only just came out last.
But
last month.
Deathloop was meant to, right? This year.
It's supposed to be this year because it's supposed to be 1 year exclusivity on Sony.
So
Maybe
maybe September.
Yeah, I think it's August, September. I think, which
okay.
I think like that would be a good release for Xbox. So obviously it'll come to Game Pass day one. So like, I'm interested in that. People seem to enjoy it for the most part. I know there were some complaints, but I like Arcane. I love Dishonored. I like Prey a lot. But I'm also very interested in like what Obsidian's doing with Avowed, because we haven't heard anything about that in years, really.
That trailer looked pretty kick.
Yeah.
Even if it was just cinematic.
Yeah. But again, like, we still,
See, I'm all over the place because we're also got to take into effect, like just in general for the showcase, Ukraine, Russia.
Yeah.
We'll have stuff like Stalker, which might even get pushed back further.
I was going to say it's been delayed till next year at the very least.
Wasn't it December?
Well, okay, yeah, I think you're right, but I think for now it's like I don't think.
But I wouldn't be surprised if that gets pushed back further.
Yeah.
Comic Heart, I don't know anything about that at the moment.
No,
that
neither.
Seems like it's going to be a case. A few other titles, mate. Those two are the like major. I want to check these out because I love blanking on the series Metro. I love Metro games.
Right, of course, yeah.
And they're very Metro-esque.
They've been rumored to be working on a 4th Metro game as well, which apparently Artyom's going to be voice acted, which I'm very happy about. Magic House again pointed out in the chat, like kind of hoping that there's more than Starfield and Forza 8 this year. That's kind of where I'm at too, right? I feel like, and we've talked about this a lot of times, right? But there was that whole thing with COVID delaying development. So it wasn't so much that things didn't come out, but it was like after things came out that were already ready, there's just been this gap. Like there's nothing happened. Like I feel like there's been nothing out this year. And I know that's not true as such. Obviously, there's always indies and smaller stuff being released, but and like it's only April, but outside of like Elden Ring,
it feels like there haven't been any really big games this year, right?
Are you saying that though because like there have been bigger titles coming out, but just Game Pass?
Yeah, like, I guess.
Trying to think off the top of my head, like Lego Star Wars recently.
Yeah, that's true. Obviously, that did very well for them. Although that was another one that got delayed for a really long time because they announced that like 3 years ago at an E3.
Yep. But having,
I wonder if it's just because they're ones, like you're saying, like they haven't come to Game Pass, so it's not like, and like I know that you've played Lego, the Skywalker Saga,
like Elden Ring as well.
Matt nor I have.
Elden Ring was big.
Yeah, Elden Ring for sure. Like that's my game of the year so far. But that was January, right? I thought And I guess on the PlayStation side, they've had like Horizon.
Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Which
Yeah.
see that's the thing. Like we have, I would say probably us three avoided it because we didn't think it would be received well. Like I think we kind of had the Borderlands 3 glasses
yeah,
on.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
from what I've seen in terms of gameplay of people playing it, like
Mm.
I'm tempted, but I'm probably gonna wait on sale because let's be honest, we have way too.
Yeah, exactly. There's way too much. Yeah, it hasn't really.
There is
grabbed
too
me.
much choice as well. Like there's so much choice right now.
Yeah, it would be. I think that the thing, yeah, that was the one big first party game every quarter was kind of what they were aiming for, right? That's why they acquired all these studios. But just with COVID and everything going on, and all these delays, it just feels like, at least on the Xbox side of things, like we are talking about like Xboxes and Bethesda showcase here. We haven't really had a lot from them. And they've been hyping up all these studios that they've bought and these projects that they're working on for years now. And we've been kind of sitting here waiting, going, okay, where's Fable 4? You know, where is, you know, we got Halo Infinite, right? Where's the rest of it for a start? Yeah, exactly. Where's Redfall? I mean, we know where Starfield is for now, right? But is that even going to hit its release date?
Yeah. I reckon it will, just because of the advertising that they were doing last year for it. I think that was the original delay.
Yeah.
Going back through a quick list from Game Informer, like we've had Elden Ring, we've had Dying Light 2.
Yeah.
There's just been like a few big titles that have kind of passed us by because we're achievement hunters.
Yeah, but I also think they haven't been hitting the highs that people were expecting. They like, especially like Dying Light 2 especially came out to relatively middling reviews.
But it still sold 10 million copies.
I mean, yeah, of course it did, because people need something to play, right? But
like there's the Life is Strange remastered collection.
Yeah.
Which I guess isn't anything new, but
yeah.
We had the Cyberpunk 2077 update.
Yeah.
Again,
yeah, that's true. And it's not like it's not new, but it means we actually at least get the opportunity to play it without any bugs. And
well, yeah.
Destiny 2 Witch Queen.
Is that out yet?
That came out in February.
Okay, right.
Yeah, so that was a massive title update for that. Yeah, obviously Elden Ring.
What's okay? What do we got towards the end of the year? So, like Magicast and chat points out, so we got Redfall, As Dusk Falls, Forza 8, Starfield.
Have we got Forza 8 this year though? Because I don't think there's.
It's gotta be, right?
Hogwarts Legacy is meant to come out holiday.
Yep.
2022.
Saints Row, I think, is coming out towards the end of the year as well, which I'm excited for.
Scorn. That's not exclusive. That's
is that like, have they confirmed? Because I know
that was October, wasn't it?
That was supposed to be last year, right? And then
I'm pretty sure it's October.
Okay, right.
If we want to talk recent stuff, that's not. I'm just saying, like gaming in general. Evil Dead is coming out in May. 2 Point Campus, which I'm looking forward to. That was pushed back to August.
Yep.
Saints Row. August.
Yeah. Saints Row is August.
Also, was a Plague Tale that was sometime.
Yeah. Again, I'm surprised. I think that like that'll be a good chance for a release date there. I think that's the perfect opportunity to tell people, hey, when it's coming out, and get people excited, because and I've been watching Charlotte play through Plague Tale on her stream, and it's been great to re-experience that, because I love that game.
Dust Falls has been radio silence since.
I think that's kind of what we're saying, right? It's like there's been a lot of radio silence, and I think maybe that's because, I don't know if that's because of delays or because of just uncertainty in where game development is right now.
It feels weird because like we've had COVID, when we've had the Ukraine-Russia stuff affecting so many developers.
Also, where's the new Hellblade?
Well, that's the thing. I because what was the last thing we saw of that? It was Jeff Keighley's.
Would have been last year's Summer Game Fest, and it's like we haven't heard basically anything about it since then. And it's like, oh, look, I get it. Like, obviously, you want to get hype up about games, but it's usually hype up before the holiday season, or before or everything that gets delayed from the holiday season ends up in Q1 of the next year, because they want to get it out before the next financial year. The fact that we didn't see as many Q1 releases as expected is a pretty rough sign of where game development seems to be, or at least where
I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
Yeah.
I don't know, like I can't really think of anything else that I'm like Atomic Heart and Stalker are the ones that are on top of my list, and I've got like no concrete like expectation of where. Forza Motorsport 8, I don't really care. I'm kind of like, I've had a bad week. I'm pissed off in general about those
with
Forza
Horizon,
Horizon
yeah.
achievements.
Yeah.
So, for those that are listening that may not be aware, the Forza Horizon 360 servers got shut down. Everybody that's submitting a ticket is getting just like leaderboards, and that should be up. Not working.
I mean,
Wow.
hopefully they can fix it.
3 achievements left. Back to him.
Yeah. Oh, Magic House also brings up Perfect Dark, which again we heard it was having some development issues and that kind of stuff. And we'll see if that even hits 2023. But yeah, I guess yeah, it's kind of I think we're in a kind of a weird space. I think maybe there'll be some surprises. I'm hoping that there'll be some stuff where they.
I hope so.
I hope there's some surprises, and I hope there's more clarity on release dates. I think that's all I'm looking for at this point.
I'm just really hyped for more new stuff.
Yeah,
like I want more Tunic and more.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, like, but I want to know more about the indie stuff. I want them to actually bring it up, not just be like, oh, here, these are the games that we're going to bring out, and not tell us about them beforehand.
But
like, I want to know about them beforehand.
In the indies, you usually like, all right, this is a cool trailer. Like deep, like look into it a little bit more, and then the developers have like shared the whole.
Yeah, like that's true. Yeah. It's there.
It like AAA has that kind of like behind the curtain feel to it, whereas an indie, like, check out this cool thing that I've risked my entire livelihood on for the last 5 years.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Somerville and Replace Somerville again. The ex Limbo developers also looks really good.
Those ones I'm stoked for.
All right. Should we move on to what else we've got here? Again, I think the rest of the stories are a little bit just kind of, wow, that's interesting. So they've finally announced that there's going to be a new Call of Duty. It's the worst kept secret. Is that the next Call of Duty?
A new one?
Yeah, right. There's going to be a new one this year.
Oh my god!
But apparently, what is it like? There's going to be one this year, and then they're going to skip next year. It's going to be. It's the 5th Call of Duty Modern Warfare. It's going to be called Modern Warfare 2, but make sure you don't confuse that with the other Modern Warfare 2 that came out in like 2009. And if you're not confused,
right.
Is this the one with the numerical number 2 or the Roman numeral?
I think this is the Roman numeral in the logo one that they've done. Yeah, so for those who don't know, I mean, obviously, Call of Duty 4 was the original Modern Warfare in 2007. Then they brought out Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. And then Modern Warfare 3 was done by Sledgehammer. And then they went back to then they rebooted the series a couple of years ago with a new engine and was like some of the best I've ever seen the game become, because I was sick of Call of Duty before then.
It was good.
It was really good, actually. And like, even like, I'm not like, I love the Call of Duty campaign and stuff, but and so I was like, wow, this is apparently, like, I was really impressed. And then they're going to do another one, which I guess is like not a surprise, especially after how badly received Vanguard was. They've been kind of needing a bit of a win. And what did they do? Was it Black Ops Cold War also didn't go over super great. But
which sucks. It had like a really good campaign, but everything else is kind of like
which is a shame. I'm not a huge Call of Duty person. I love it for the campaigns. I'm not a big multiplayer of zombies or anything like that. But like I like the way the game plays. I like the style. I like how it runs at 60 FPS and just looks really good. And they sort of push that, which is why I really enjoyed the reboot. So I'm interested to see what they do with Modern Warfare 2 and how much it takes from the original and how much of it's a reboot, how much of it is going to be a real sequel, and who knows. I mean, the naming fucking their SEO is going to be all over the fucking place.
I mean, naming in video games is always a hit and a miss.
Yeah.
What do you mean? It's a great name.
Rolls off the tongue.
Modern Warfare 360, Modern Warfare 1, Modern Warfare.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, you just got to end up putting the year at the end of it in a bracket, as always.
It's like Battlefield. Oh.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
Well, hopefully it's not as bad as that. And also, sort of speaking of Call of Duty, apparently Warzone is not going super great for them at the moment. Which, for those who don't know, Warzone is their sort of free-to-play battle royale alternative that they released a few years ago. And it had a huge surge over COVID, up to I think it was about 150 million people, which is like pretty insane for something that cost nothing and kind of. I mean, like it was one of those things where it split the player base in terms of people who wanted to play a Call of Duty multiplayer traditional maps and then into the sort of free to play low barrier to entry, the same way that all of these free to play battle royales have done. But they've been kind of not really keeping up with it. And apparently they've lost like a third of their player base, 50 million people in the last year.
I think I know why. Bear with me. People downloaded the game. They played it and realized it didn't have achievement.
Well, that's probably it. That's probably it. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, if they're real achievement hunters, they would have known that before they even downloaded the 150 gigs or whatever.
Yes, this amazing, not niche community of achievement hunters who are everywhere, and there's millions and millions and millions of us.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the other thing is that, like, how many of that 50 million were just, Chinese bots that were hacking and they just I mean,
none of them, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, also, like, I'm just like, oh, Russia gets the internet shut off suddenly. Call of Duty loses 50 million people.
Suspicious.
Yeah, but the other thing is that, like, they have not been putting a lot of effort into it. Apparently, the seasonal stuff's been quite rough. Activision has not been having a good time of it lately. I mean, fuck them; they don't really deserve to.
Is Fortnite like the only one that's like actually keeping up with like free to play content?
Yeah, I mean, because it still makes money hand over fist and has all that good brand integration stuff. I mean, shit, you get like Marvel stuff in there, and
like this would be making money. Apex would be like all those.
I'm sure it's making money, right? Like that's. But the thing is that we live in a capitalist society where you're looking for infinite growth. If you're not growing, you're dying. Which is something just absolutely awful about business. But the other thing is that they apparently, with this new Modern Warfare 2 release, it's going to be built on a new engine, and they're going to be basically rebooting Warzone in that new engine for modern consoles, because you also need to remember that like Warzone released before the new consoles, the Series and the PS5 did, so it's still technically running on that old hardware. So it probably does make sense for them to kind of not put as much effort into it. But when is that coming out? They haven't actually officially announced it yet, I don't believe. So
that'll be interesting too, because if it's like only next gen, then that might be shooting themselves in the foot, especially with PS5 struggling to consoles
units
out
on shelves. Yeah, exactly. That is a good point. I don't know if they'll specifically exclude old consoles from it. But I think maybe it'll be built with next gen or current gen in mind first, like current gen first, scale back for the old stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm not really all that interested in it, but I just think from a business perspective, it's kind of interesting to see how I always check in on the battle royale market, because it was the big thing, right? You had Fortnite's still going strong, but you don't hear much about PUBG these days.
Was it Fortnite that did Coachella in?
Yeah, well, they I mean, back in all the day, they did like marshmallows. Like they do everything in Fortnite nowadays. I mean, they did the whole Martin Luther King museum experience, which was so strange and interesting.
Fortnite's just like completely different, but at the same time, like, right, basically just keeps Epic doing crazy stuff for the.
Yeah, right. Like it's like it's essentially a platform for them to make money, and they can I mean, Epic spun out a whole store based on the success that they had with it.
Stupid question, probably, but Roblox versus
Fortnite for sure, but
Fortnite.
But Roblox also makes a lot of money. It's kind of a, I mean, I'm not going to say like a sleeper hit, but it's the kind of thing where it's one of those things that makes a lot of money and is very successful, but just not in any of the circles that we associate with.
I know I know Roblox, anybody that puts $1 in, it basically gets 35 cents.
Right. Well, actually, because Robux is like
the conversion.
There is a conversion rate for it, so worth more than the ruble sometimes. But that's all I've got for news this week. It's been pretty quiet. I mean, I think that like I joked about how we're leading up to E3, but that does kind of happen, right? Is that the news kind of gets saved up for that? We haven't had any major controversies outside of Activision still being shitty. Which I get, sky's blue, water is wet.
The only other stuff that's kind of been floating around this week, the Xbox rising by 6%. Microsoft had their shareholder stuff,
Right.
or their financial report, or whatever it was.
Yeah. So yeah, looks like it's going well for them. I mean, we always talk about Game Pass. People buy more games with Game Pass, and obviously that's the model that they want to go with, and they're leaning into it heavily. I'd be interested to see if Xbox has any kind of Game Pass or service related announcements that are not just games, right, but actually changes to their systems or anything like that. I don't know if E3 is the play or the Summer Games Fest is the place.
It's not really when they do that though, right? Like,
yeah, right.
They tend to, if they're going to do that, they're going to tell us during the year or like when it's happening.
PS2 Fat Boy also mentioned Twitch apparently removed the feature.
I didn't realize they had a friends platform.
Yeah, they do. There's a few things that they're changing too. So
50-50 partners stuff, and
yeah.
We'll probably touch base on that next week.
Yeah, we don't need to worry too much right now about that kind of stuff. It doesn't really affect us in terms of like,
because we don't make any fucking money.
Like
that's for sure.
The changes don't really affect our podcast. They affect more individual streamers, I'll say. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get into some of the Game Pass stuff then, Cameron. What have we got for us?
All right. So games that have been added recently is 7 Days to Die, Research and Destroy, Bugsnax, and Unsold. I don't really know anything about any of them.
Bugsnax, I'm really excited for.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, I think that's one we should all play at some stage. I need to look at the achievements, but
in terms of stuff that's being removed, we have Cricket 19, Outlast 2, Secret Neighbor, and Streets of Rage 4. I advise against that.
Maybe. No,
they're all
not worth it.
Absolutely not.
Just leave them all this time.
Way
Don't
too late anyway.
Games this time.
Yeah. Outlast 2 is massively difficult and just kind of a pain. Secret Neighbor is glitchy and bad, and you need a lot of people for it. And Streets of Rage 4 is a massive grind.
They will all be gone by the time this podcast airs anyway, so.
That's true.
GTA San Andreas is also leaving, but I don't know if it's definite.
It just so surreptitiously got added to the leaving soon list, but we don't actually know. We don't have any dates on it, but I suspect that it might be the end of this month as well.
There was another one that I felt like was leaving.
Well, they had something that just got added, right? There was something.
Oh, NBA.
20. One of the, I think, just got like added today out of nowhere.
Which was like a surprise edition. I do have a list of the ones that are getting added next month. Which we have Loot River, which is coming May 3rd, which is that side, like the panel side scroll. But you get to choose the fights that you get. Really nice indie game. I played the demo to it. Citizen Sleeper coming out May 5th. I don't really know anything about. Stretch Yomi, which is May 5th as well. I'm going to check out because it's Volva published.
Right.
Cool.
They usually only have their hands on real games. Uridian Chronicle Rising, which I think we got shown trailer at E3. It was one of the JRPGs.
Yes, I remember this. Yep. I don't know who was actually announced it, but yeah, I remember seeing something about it. Was that a Nintendo thing?
Sorry, no. I know the flashy JRPG.
I remember the JRPG. Yeah.
But May 10th we have Floppy Nights May 24th. Hard Space Shipbreaker May 24th. Sniper Elite 5 on May 26th, and Pac-Man Museum Plus on May.
Okay, so interesting.
Yeah, a few ones out of that I'm going to check out. Loot River and Trek to Game, definitely the ones that I'm going to jump in straight away. Sniper Elite 5.
It'll be a rough list. It always is.
I'm just Rebellion. I don't know if I can support them after
Zombie Army 4. Yeah, it's understandable.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll quickly go through what we've been playing. It's been a pretty quiet week for me, at least. But I finished up The Surge 2, like I talked about last week. I still think that game is great. It super jumps the shark at the end of the game in a way that is absolutely amazing and makes literally no sense. I also don't know how they could possibly do a sequel after the kind of ending that they do. But essentially, it's that scene from Metal Gear Solid Rising where the guy just says nanomachines, son, and then doesn't explain anything. It's like, yeah, no, nanomachines that just, you can do whatever you want. But yeah, like I don't want to spoil it because the ending is just absolutely ridiculous. But I really like that game. Like I said last week, it's a really good improvement on the original. They also kind of stole the little messaging system that Dark Souls has, but now it's just icons. So people will put like an arrow and then like a treasure chest and like, like it'll basically point you in directions, or it'll have like a skull if there's an enemy ahead. Or people are quite nice about it. Also, some people will also point off a cliff and put a treasure chest to try and get you to jump off in the sort of time-honored tradition. But yeah, really good. Really enjoy it. Also started Demon Slayer. So I've decided I've just kind of, I'm a big fan of the first season of the anime. Need to watch the second season. I'm not sure where this gets up to in the story-wise, but I've done the first couple of chapters. It plays just like the old kind of Naruto games. There's a little bit of a learning curve because obviously you don't, use chakra. It's a little bit different, but yeah, I like it so far. It looks great. They added a patch that it runs at 60 FPS and it is very smooth. And then the thing that I've been playing the most this week has been Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen, which is a game that I started back in 2020. And so I finally, for some reason, I just got possessed to go back to it. And it's great. It's a fantastic game. The only problem with it is that you have to play through it 2 to 3 times, which is a little bit of a drag. But TA says it's a 100 to 150 hour completion. I finished it in 47 hours. So what?
Right. Okay.
So if you
but I'm gonna leave the estimate up on TA because to look like a big dog.
No, I put the correct amount. I put 40 to 50 hours. I won't talk about it too much because again, it is the game that came out like years ago, and it's a re-release. But the DLC does make it a lot better. That you can there's a way to have a low-level character go into the DLC pretty early on in the game and get some really fast level ups, and that makes the rest of the game a lot easier. So actually, I only did 2 playthroughs of it.
Is Dragon's? I think it's Dragon's Dogma or stuff that has top. See.
Oh, that's Asura's Wrath, the one with the punching God out of into the moon. Yes, that's that game. Everyone should play. I know Dragon's Dogma is the Capcom one where you basically the dragon steals your heart and you have to go hunt him down. And it's a really, really cool, really cool medieval like high magic fantasy kind of game.
The one that they did the shitty.
Yeah, the kind of okay Netflix thing for it wasn't. It was okay. With that game actually has some really interesting story and lore and some good voice acting and kind of an interesting story. Definitely recommend it. I mean, if you haven't played it, the Xbox One, Dark Arisen version has the DLC included. I definitely recommend it. It's a great kind of game. And Capcom, they did have a leak. Capcom had, when they got hacked a couple of, again, I don't know when it was, a few years ago now at this point.
Yeah.
Where they essentially got leaked that they were working on a second one. So I mean, I'm very excited for that. But with the way that game ends, again, be very interested to see what they do with it. And I just want people to talk about it as I do with most of these kind of narrative-based games. But yeah, that's literally all I've been playing.
It's on the list for us to play like 6 months after you play it.
Oh, it's fine. I've got a good memory for this stuff. And I can always do a plot synopsis on the wiki. But anyway, that's me. And then I'll just do a couple of title updates that came up for some Zidlon stuff. So I am at 5,810 for this week.
Do a spoiler cast on it after we do.
So speaking of Charlotte, what have you been playing this week?
Why are you gonna drag me through the mud, Cameron? I will get there, okay?
One day.
Legit.
When it's leaving Game Pass.
Yes, Your Grace is on the ticket for Sunday.
Oh, is it?
Okay?
I'll tune in.
She finished because she finished some other games.
Sunday. Sunday. Yes, Your Grace. Okay, so what have I been doing this week? I got 2 completions under the belt. I finished Krakening Academy finally. Weird fucking game.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Did you say Broccoli Girl?
Broccoli Girl, yeah.
The Broccoli Girl?
It is Broccoli Girl.
Yeah, I went on a date with her. It's fine, She got stuck in a slide. I took a screenshot.
How did Cauliflower Man feel about it?
I don't know, but step broccoli wasn't.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
What are you doing, step vegetable?
Oh no!
Okay, I also finished Human Fall Flat, so let's move on. Oh god! Jesus Christ! I'm sorry, I did start that one. Okay, so I talked about it a couple of times. I did have a little bit of help just a little bit of help running through Human Fall Flat with my good friend Mike, Mad Mike Forever.
I think all of us have had that help from
Oh my
Mike,
god,
to
all
be
of
fair.
us. Like, she is incredible at Human Fall Flat. She's just like, there is a reason why she got number 1 on PC. Like,
I mean, like, I'm sure people hear up about getting number 1 all the time.
all the time. But she will help you if she chooses to help you. She doesn't want to be asked to help.
She wants to
Okay?
offer.
She will offer it when she's good and ready to offer it. And I was lucky enough to be one of the people she offered it to. So we did 3 separate sessions. We did have a couple of issues with connecting and disconnecting and connecting and disconnecting and being kicked from Xbox parties and all sorts of things. It was...
Is that Human Fall Flat, or is that just servers at the moment? Because I feel like
that was Human Fall Flat.
Okay.
That specifically was Human Fall Flat. Like, we had and it's just had issues like that before. So I'm not sure. Like, we our first run through was incredible, and we were super lucky because we managed to get the speed run in that first session.
That's
and
very
the
lucky.
whole thing done and dusted. So the majority of the achievements were done in that first session. And then we just had to get through all of the expansions, which we did in 2 separate sessions afterwards. After that, and then the last achievement I had to get was the 25k travel. I don't know. I don't know if it was just being a bit weird, or it just was not the, like, okay, it would occasionally just jump a huge amount in the tracker. And I'd be like, okay, but I either wasn't doing anything, or it like jumped later in the piece. So it was like it was a delayed tracker for the travel. But I ended up, so I found 2 different ways of doing it, and I ended up what did I do? I know what I did. Okay, so what I ended up doing was I went into one of the levels and I set up my controller by plugging it in, and I put a hair tie on my controller and I let it go in circles.
One of us.
I did it. I fell into that trap because I was like, you know what? It's not working. I'm going to leave it on overnight and just hope for the best. Because at one stage I was playing for like an hour and a half and there was just no movement. The tracker was not going up, and I was like, you've got to be kidding. What am I doing wrong? Do I have to go online? Does it have to be like local? What the hell am I doing wrong? So I ended up putting it on overnight, and apparently it popped after an hour.
I love it. That's always how it goes.
For like 8 hours.
Yeah, and you probably messed up your controller now. It's probably completely messed up and just doesn't. Yeah,
hey, it's fine. I legit use the other controllers. This is the one that I have issues with, that I can't jump with. So, for audio listeners, I did use quotation marks there.
Good work when always blames his tools. Yeah, pretty sure that's
100%. That's how it works. That's how I roll. Yeah, I'm slowly becoming one of you guys. Don't know how I feel
baby
about
games.
I mean, I've got a spare turbo controller here for you. You want it?
Yeah, exactly.
I have not reached the Zidalons, so that's my level now. That is my cutoff. Like, I'm not doing it.
You don't want to support?
You guys do. It's fine.
It's fine.
You guys do it for me.
Your whole achievement.
I don't need to.
Achievement season.
It's fine. Okay. So the other games I've been playing this week, I have been playing a little bit of Saints Row the Third Remastered with Matt. So we're working through that one. We will get that one done. We're just doing a few sessions at a time. So yeah, we'll see how we go with that one. I have 1 achievement left for Magic 2015. So that is a little bit, yeah. So the last one is the nodes.
Yeah.
So you have to go through and there's 5 of them, and you have to do 5 matches or 4 matches, and then a
planeswalker fight. Yeah.
So it's
5 matches basically.
Yeah, so it's 5 times 5, so it's fine. I've done 1 of them, so I've done 1 planeswalker. I've got 4 more to go. I'll get through them. It's just a little bit of a slow progress because each time you go in, you have to use a different like a different deck, and you want to match the right ones. So I'm just trying to find the right ones for each.
Yeah, they tend to be those
Land.
matches are more like gimmick games where it's like they have kind of something weird or interesting about them that's a bit different to how you'd normally play like a normal one-on-one match. So kind of, you know, there's usually some sort of mechanic you have to exploit.
And the last thing I've been playing, which I quite like. And I've got a shout out for a walkthrough that I'm quite excited. Like, it's really helpful. So Space Warlord Organ Trading Simulator, which is actually like the coolest game. It's a little bit weird. So you basically have to buy and trade organs.
I couldn't think of a game about trading organs in space involving warlords would be weird at all.
I know.
But I mean, at the same time, it's probably right up your alley. Hey, Charlotte?
It is 100% up my alley. Like, okay, I'm gonna. This is not gonna work for audio listeners, but this is why you should come and join the podcast. I got a light today, so I now get to sit here in the dark with this galaxy light that has multiple different colors, and I can like change them, and I feel like I'm in space while I'm a space warlord trading organs.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you didn't pump out the operating table.
Yeah. That's
sure. I could just become a surgeon. I know.
Like,
I know how to trade organs now.
Yeah.
There's also
bit of chloroform in the background
for poking an organ. So like for clicking on an organ, 704 times out while it's in your cargo. So like I just sat there poking a heart.
I mean, you can really make somebody's heart beat by just poking it over and over.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god! I feel like was that scene in Rat Race? Anyway, that's
yeah.
Please.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I ended on 1,995 for the week.
Bad. Cameron.
All right. I like used to. I've really not been playing much as well. I'll start with the one that I played before the podcast, which was Speak Up. A cute little frog character going around getting tea. Very short completion.
Oh yeah,
like 40 minutes. Very much designed in the way of a children's book.
Yeah, it's like kind of like a picture book, kind of. Yeah, right.
Like that kind of. I would probably compare the art style to like Where the Wild Things Are and those kind of like esque. It's the closest thing I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah, right. Like it kind of has like it kind of reminded me of like a Peter Rabbit style kind of.
Actually, that's probably a better comparison. Peter Rabbit.
Not nearly as detailed, but like in that kind of style of like cute animals anthropomorphized doing cute things, and it's like you're a frog looking to make tea and kind of going around and having adventures with your friends.
But it was a very cute and cozy game. It only took me like 40 minutes. Text walkthrough. Cool. Other than that, I've been playing a bit of Gen Zero, trying to get the last 3 achievements with Alex, but Alex is getting frustrated. We're gonna do it after the podcast. I have promised him.
Interesting. It's
so
almost like you've been busy.
Oh yeah, I've been very busy. I'm always busy. Talking about.
Yeah.
Golf with your friends. I've also been just doing a few courses here and there. Actually played a match with Odrin.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Which was
he's
just
spoke
like
with them recently.
He's like, hey, like let's do some World War Z. Did like a level, and like this is bad. Like okay. Wasn't feeling it because we're having like more of an discussion. You can't really balance that kind of game with it. So let's just go golfing. And then I'm like at the start, like I don't know. I've been playing a fair bit of golf lately. Beats me like 10 putts.
Do you want to actually go outside and go and play golf?
I was gonna say yeah. That's.
I mean, I would if I had friends.
What was right there?
What are we?
Foreigners.
Furniture.
I'm not gonna play golf.
Foreigners.
I mean, technically you are.
Yeah. Well, technically, yeah. I mean, what did you posted that Turbo Golf Racing, right? And I said that's Rocket League for BMW owners. So I feel like that you're trying to move into that golfing demographic there, Cameron. So
I want to try that out. I'm very tempted to play something like Rocket League-esque. This is the closest thing that's going to have achievements soon.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Other than that, I did. So I did Golf with Your Friends, played a bit of that. Have unlocked like a few achievements. Did the Apis DLC one. I've just got to go back and actually just one of those games that I just like will do course at a time. Two games I really want to talk about is the first one is the Dungeon of Nehime.
You did a video on this, right?
Yep. So I did 2 videos this week. That first one was the Chicken Edition that is in Game Pass. Turn-based dungeon crawler. Very like D&D style-esque, but like very funny humor.
Right. Okay.
The only thing I wasn't really sold on, I'm not the biggest fan of turn-based stuff, which is going to be very hypocritical when I guess what we're talking about last. But like the humor was pretty good. It's just like one of those games that just throws all these mechanics at you. So a 1 hour dive doesn't really give you enough time to actually.
Bit of an investment.
But yeah, very very good humor. I think it's meant to be like a maybe 8 hour.
Right, so it's a real RPG, right?
So it's a proper RPG. But yeah, it seems like it's gonna have a good story and all that. So if you want to check it out, I definitely recommend. Maybe starting an alt. The other game I really liked this week was Chinatown Detective Agent.
Chinatown Detective Agent.
So this recently just got added to Game Pass, right? I've been keeping an eye on it.
This one came to Game Pass. It has 2 unobtainables at the moment. Has mixed reviews, and I'm kind of on the fence about it because the mixed reviews all come back to the fact that this is a detective game that gets you to use real life analyzing. You're breaking your immersion in the game to go do research on Google, looking up quotes, looking up stuff from books, using trying to be a proper detective, investigating stamps, try and match them. Like, okay, well this stamp obviously has Greek letters on it. I'll look up all the Greek letters corresponding to that. You can just use the outside guide, which I think this will be a very decent, probably like a 1 to 2 hour completion.
Oh, okay, right.
From what I've seen. But that's like when they fix the achievements.
Sure.
I think. Don't hold me to that.
So it's more of a, because I when I was looking at this, I was like, is this going to be like another sort of visual novel game with some detective stuff in it, or it's really just detective?
It's pixel art, solve cases, has voice acting.
Oh, okay.
Kind of. Right. Like I was from the hour that I played of it, I did 2 case files. First one was like very bare bones, but I thought like the voice acting was very good. I quite liked the pixel art was like kind of that hybrid of basic but like a little bit of detailing. You know what I mean?
Okay. Right.
Like I was thinking like a little bit past Yes Your Grace.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Right.
But then I found myself very interested. Just like, all right, because I was doing a 1 hour deep dive, I used the guides as to figure out how to the walkthroughs team to figure out the stuff. But I'm like, wait a minute, if I was actually really wanting to take a step back, not really worry about the immersion and all that, break out a notepad or Google next beside me, I'd probably find this really enjoyable.
Yeah, but I feel like, I mean, look, I think that I understand that, any kind of puzzle, you have to rely on the audience having some level of knowledge about the world in general, right? How A works for B and stuff. But I feel like getting someone to look up, I remember back in Silent Hill 3, there was some ridiculous puzzle with Shakespeare plays, and if you didn't know anything about Shakespeare, you were basically fucked. And that's I don't really know if that's good game design.
Do you think then that every game needs to be able to? Or?
Yes, absolutely. Because I think that every game is in itself is an experience. I mean, look, sometimes you can stretch the boundaries of having things like Doki Doki Literature Club, right, where you can go into the game files and kind of mess with them and stuff like Pony Island, where it's more of a meta experience, where that's kind of they lead on the fourth wall. But something like this, where it seems like it's very of itself, that I don't know if I agree with the fact that like the answers to the puzzles. I mean, like it's different if it's like a math puzzle, right? And it's like, okay, they don't give you the answer, you got to go figure it out on a calculator. It's like, okay, I get it.
It's funny. The first thing that jumped into my mind, I'm just thinking like back to specific things. Back Metal Gear Solid 1 with the plugging your controller port into controller to defeat the
Psychomantis. Yeah.
Psychomantis. So yeah, sorry. And then also Earthbound, if you got a legitimate copy of the game, getting to the end and having your file save corrupt, and having to restart the whole game because like back on the original Earthbound,
right. I think, but I think that's again.
But that was back in an age where
internet wasn't a thing, basically. I mean, it was, but like not in the same way that it is now. And I don't know if I agree with the fact that because at that point you're like, why wouldn't you just look up a guide? You know, like I think that, and also building a game around the fact that you're like, oh no, just go look it up. It's like, well, that's not how you build a game. That's not a puzzle. You're literally
that should be it. Like everything that's in the game or the puzzles that are in the game should be solvable by finding the information within the game.
Yeah,
you shouldn't have to go and find it outside of the game like that.
Yeah,
it should all be enclosed. Like,
see, I'm conflicted on that
because part of the game, and they state that that's like.
Well, that's the like start from the straight like from the very start. It's like you're going to use.
That's what you have to do. Yeah.
That's what it does explain. It says like you will be using outside resources.
Well, then I'm fine with it. I have no issue with it as long as it's made clear that that's something that.
Yeah.
But like, I think if you're gonna make a game, it should be all enclosed. Like the puzzles should be solvable. I'm
kind of like, would this be adapted better to a different medium, like a board game or?
Maybe like Martel posted in the chat. Yeah, trivia games in Shambles.
I was just thinking Trivial Pursuit.
Trivial Pursuit, right? Is that kind of thing where it's like you have to have outside knowledge for the game to continue. I mean, otherwise you lose.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm interested. Like the concept sounds really, really interesting to me, but I just don't know if I agree with the way that, from a game design perspective, I feel like that's kind of cheating.
But then at the same time, because it's an indie title too, I'm just like, maybe they didn't have the capacity.
But in that case, don't make the game. Like I don't think that's. I think that's.
Are you saying then just make another game, or like if this
basically if you can't make a puzzle that is solvable within your game, then don't make that. That is not a game. That's you have not closed the loop on a game.
I don't know. I'm very much in the band camp. Yeah, I'm very much in the band camp of like, I feel like if they had included it in this game, it might have been more restrictive, what they desired. So then having that outside resource, making like, all right, you need to do some actual research. You need to look up what these stamps were in the early 1900s. Do your own investigation.
What if you don't have access to that? Like, can you imagine you get to a stage where it's like this?
Then that's the issue. Yeah.
This game is not completable. Like if this is like when they used to do like browser games where they're like, oh go and host on like go and check on our website for this thing. It's like, yeah, this game came out 10 years ago. This company doesn't exist anymore. Their
website's not even exist. Yeah. Like you can't go to it.
Yeah, their shitty HTML website that they put together for this game doesn't exist anymore. It's gone.
But it's not relying on a set thing. It's relying on you doing research.
Well, it's relying on Google existing.
Though, Matt, isn't there an achievement that you can't get now because the website doesn't exist anymore? Yeah.
For Army of Two, the 40th day, there's because EA took down the website.
I think that's a different thing though. Like you're actually looking up, like you're investigating historical things. You're looking up books. I get what you're understanding to a point. Like I disagree that a link to a specific website is the same as doing research.
Well, then what they should do is essentially mirror mirror that information. If it's going to be, you need to go to Google and search for it, put an in-game version of quote unquote, Goggle or
put
Google.
It inside the game. Like if you want to include that kind of feature, put it in the game.
Yeah, and don't just put like, you go to it and it suddenly brings up the answer. Yeah, put like a shitload of information there, and then like you still have to go and find it, but it's still within the bounds of the game. I'm not alt tabbing for fuck's sake. I still. Yeah,
it's like, oh my god. Okay, what's that FMV game that I played where she sits at the computer and has to go through all the video files?
Telling Lies.
Telling Lies. Yeah. And like that, you have to search the taglines up within the game to find the videos to bring them all up.
And you could just go on and find a list online, which is what most achievement hunters did, right? But still, like it's still all there. But I think it's a really interesting concept, and when they fix the achievements, I'm 100% going to play it.
For the for the best play experience, please use the supported browser. What?
Huh?
Okay, so apparently an anonymous gifter in our Twitch chat has given Stallion83 a tier 1 sub just in case he happened to stop by.
Hopefully, maybe I guess we'll just be like, hey, welcome in, Stallion83. We're happy to have you. Come chat with us anytime.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Hey. Well, thanks, anonymous gifter. We appreciate it.
What is this podcast even become?
I don't fucking
know. Uprising.
I feel like this is like a troll podcast. I feel like this is like a social experiment gone wrong.
I'm kind of okay with that.
I'm fine. Like it kind of fits the state of the world.
Yeah.
But
Let's go with it. I mean, I'm in space, so what do I know? That's
true. High as a kite. What have you? Is there anything else, Cameron, that you've been?
So and then I've just been playing Sigil of the Magi, which is the game that I'm working on helping publish at the moment for the Iterative Collective. I've been playing quite a bit of that this week, which feels weird playing a game without achievements. So.
Right. Yeah.
But we had a bit of fun with it today. We kind of tested the boundaries of the demo, and then decided, hey, all right, let's really push this. Let's do hard run, which to us was imposing no healing in a run, imposing the hardest, the most amount of battles in a singular line. So not as you go along the map, you can spread into different lines and try and get the best path.
You're just going for a fight.
But it's just going fight kind of situation. And then the other one was when you get to a campfire, you can either heal the entire party for I think 30% health, heal a individual member for 40% health, or level up a card to be its advanced version, get an extra about a defense or damage.
Sure.
So we imposed me doing training cards every time.
I mean, that would make you pretty strong, though.
So it was fun because we're messing around me actually writing achievements out for this game now, which would be cool. Got to the end of the world one on the second try and managed to get it done. Even though it essentially came down to me having one hero left, getting drawn the exact 2 defense cards and 2 attack cards, having 3 moves a turn and going defend, attack. Defend, attack. Worked. If it was an achievement, it would be done.
If it doesn't matter whether it's an inch or a mile, as long as you get it, right?
Having a self-imposed achievement like that, when you watch some people all right, I'm going to test the absolute boundaries of this. I'm going to give myself a ridiculous task.
Yeah,
it's fun to watch. But yeah, managed to do that, and we'll have some more upcoming news about the game next week.
Oh, cool. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Look forward to hearing about it.
Been fun though. For the people that are aware, deck building roguelite, solo dev. Yeah, pretty cool. Fire Emblem meets Slay the Spire. 15.75 for the week. And one last thing I must touch on before we move on. Cal, you are overtaking me. Watching you very fucking. Think you're gonna do anything?
That's what I wrote Song of the Week about.
You think you're gonna catch me? I'm gonna make it that many graphics so that you having no limbs.
Oh my god! All right, well let's move on to our completion shoutouts. Charlotte, what have you got for us?
Okay.
Later
first. There we go.
I missed your audio for a second.
We lost you there for a second. All right, we good? Yep.
Technical difficulties, it is fine. Okay, so give me 2 seconds. Alright, so completions. We have Hack and Pwn with a billion Windows Phone completions. Lots of them. He is smashing them out. It's fantastic to see.
He's on the home straight because I think he's trying to get them all done before the shutdown.
He's getting them all done before.
How long is it? Like 2-3 weeks now?
I think it's like May 15th or something. So he's got.
I better start.
He's gunning for it. We're going to see a lot more in the next week, I reckon. Cobra Todd with a lot of baby games. There were way too many for me to detail. There were a lot in there. Also completed in Bento, which is cool because I really enjoyed it. So
he's given Rapture a run for his money this week.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's good. Rapture with lots of baby games. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl and Back for Blood. So not just baby games this time.
Back for Blood especially is a pretty tough one, so that's impressive.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool to see. Dish had MX versus ATV Alive.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Firehawk D with Overwatch Origins Edition. Also working on another game that Cameron started, I believe.
What one? I haven't checked this week.
He's almost finished it. He's been doing it for a while.
The Good Life.
Yes, yeah.
The Squirmy game, yeah.
He's getting very close to that completion.
I feel sorry for him. But I really did not enjoy that.
Hey, it's keeping him busy.
Sure.
Meow.
Oh god. We have Kyo Live at Home with Watch Dogs and a bunch of Windows Phone games as well, which is cool. We had Red hitting 1,250,000 gamer score, and he had baby game completions in there. I believe there were a bunch of updates recently, so he went through and smashed all of them out. And Guns, Gore, and Cannoli, which he's been raving about on Twitter. We have Kruger finishing Mortal Kombat 11. He did not end up needing my help boosting it, but that's fine. It's fine. That's fine.
Right. You helped me with it, so I think it's fine.
Yes, it's fine. And then my boyfriend, Dio, also known as Galaxy, has done Artifacts Mundis in the last week, and he's working on his backlog. He's currently got 85 games left to then hit 100% completion percentage.
In which case, I'll need to unfriend him and never speak to him ever again.
That's fine. I'll keep him.
And what about our leaderboard for the week?
And onto our leaderboard. Okay, so we haven't had any movement for number one place, which is very interesting. So starting at third place, we have Red on 11,325. In second place, we have a Grey Shark, who just after hitting his million is still going strong on 16,980. And then in first place, we have Jimbot UK again with 50,245.
Jesus Christ, Jim, you need to stop, buddy. You need to. Something's got to. I don't understand how you still have games to do that on.
There's something in that blood sausage.
Something, right? Yeah.
Honestly. But yeah, that's where we're at.
Fantastic.
Jeez.
Thank you, Charlotte. All right. Well, we've got one question this week. Two questions, kind of, from our good friend of the Xbox cast, Simone, where he's asked, what do you guys think of the new TA targets feature that they introduced in March? Do you participate or have an interest in getting the badges? And then her follow-up question is, one of the main targets is action games, not action adventure, just action itself. What are your favorite pure action games that you recommend to someone trying to get the badge next month, like me? And she's given us a list of all the games that are eligible for it. So I guess we'll start with you guys. I guess, Charlotte, are you looking at the feature? I know you haven't been doing a lot of competition stuff at the moment, but you've seen the feature?
I have seen the feature. I haven't looked at it since the first month that it came out. I only see it when people like mention it or tag me in it on Twitter or like show it to me. Like I don't actively go looking because for TA I tend to I look at my little bubble and I'm happy in my little bubble because I find it a little bit hard to do full on like competitions like that. I like small competitions like the achievement streak one that I have running with Matt. As people well know, it's still going. I just hit 250 days. Matt is squarely on 269.
Yep.
So I'm chasing him. I'm just waiting for him that one day. I just need him one day to just not pop an achievement. And then 19 days later, it's mine. That is mine.
It's not today because I've already got a couple. So better luck
Wait
tomorrow.
till October for Matt to miss.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Never found the basement chicken.
He never returned from Melbourne. Okay,
Wow.
so like I've seen a few of them, and I like the fact that there are targets. So I probably will try and get on board, but I need to wait for one that really grabs my attention. And of course, I'm not really big on action games, as most people know. I'm not good at shooting, and I'm not good at jumping. So those are my two not good skills in gaming.
Yeah.
Although I did enjoy Halo, just the lag was just.
But action is such a weird genre.
It's a weird, yeah.
I was like looking at this list.
Like, I mean, action adventure, but she says not action adventure. So
it's
like,
just
wow.
action, yeah. And it's like there's only 358 games that are just action games on TA.
I'm gonna have a look at the list and I'll see. I'll come back to it. Yeah. So you can come back to me.
All right. Yeah. So I mean, suggestions on my front. So I don't use the feature myself. I've kind of shied away from the TA competition scene because. With the way my completion percentage being so high, my choices for playing a lot of stuff are quite limited. And like I've said many times, if there's something on my tag that I've started and haven't finished, it's usually for a pretty good reason. And that reason usually is that I'm shit. But in terms of stuff that I was looking at on this list of recommending, I love the Katamari series. I don't really know if that counts as action, but it's tagged there. Zone of the Enders HD collection is something I would definitely recommend. I love those games. If you're into like mecha at all, like so fucking cool. And then like going down this list is like Rain on Your Parade's there maybe.
Which I thought was
Western Press was pretty interesting.
Yeah. Sayonara Wild Hearts is also there, and then
Kill It with Fire's on there, and that's actually one that's been recommended to me to do. So,
and I saw
God, Roomba First Blood.
Even I haven't played that. That's for a baby game. It's pretty rough. God,
you leave Samurai Punk alone. They're a good Aussie developer.
Whatever.
I don't know what their obsession is with vacuum cleaners, but I mean, yeah. Good old Melbourne-based devs.
Yeah. Karen, what about you? Got anything on this list? Do you use the feature at all?
I'll be honest. I'm trying to think of how to put this. I view TA as more of as a resource than a community engagement. Like, sure. I think we have our own communities that do enough of a good job of like challenging each other to like do achievement streaks and all that, which we keep up to ourselves.
Yeah, and I have to admit I'm very similar to that. Like,
I feel like when you make a generalized goal that's still catering to like hundreds of thousands of people, like let's be honest, it's probably like 100,000.
Actively use it, probably.
Yeah. Like when you're trying to cater to that large of an audience, you have to like generalize to such a portion. I like the kind of stuff where we can go like, well, I'm gonna beat you at this specific game. Like those more personal down to earth challenges. Those, hey, this game's coming to Game Pass next month. Let's be the first ones.
I mean, TA used to do like the ultimate head-to-head, right? Like I've talked about in the past, where like that's how I got into the Real Games Club community, was that I matched up with Kirby, and that was a real interesting kind of experience. But that was unique, right? Like I don't think that was didn't have a lot of communication otherwise. And I think that you're 100% right. I think we all use TA as more of a tool, just kind of keep track of our achievements and kind of see what people are up to, and kind of use it as for guides rather than as a community tool, because a lot of people on TA are a bunch of dicks. Like they're just like that. Like look, and like I get it, right? Like it's a competitive mindset. The kind of people who are obsessed about stats and rankings and that kind of stuff tend to be absolute fucking assholes. And I obviously I kind of put myself in that camp a little bit as well. I mean, obviously I don't engage with the community, but I have a little bit of that mindset. I mean, I did try to get to completion
Mr.
percentage.
Number 1 in New Zealand, Australia.
Exactly,
and
like
first to 2 million.
I can't say
in New Zealand, Australia.
I can't say I don't engage with that at all, right? That would be a barefaced lie. But I don't sign up for the GTASC. I don't really get involved in any of the competitions, and I'm not really there shit posting on the forums.
Like I just use TA for hey, I want an achievement guide, or I want to go to the forums to find if anybody's having issues with a particular thing like recently.
Yeah.
Or like it does have community features, but at the same time, like targets to me, it's like just a shrug. Martel said in chat should read the comments crying about the April target. Like stuff is only good when it's when it caters to catering to too large of an audience. And that's the thing. Like even if you want to jump on like not just targets but community challenges, I can't get the gold star or whatever.
Oh no, yeah, like there are people
because people are missing challenges.
Yeah, which is like that's not really doesn't really matter all that much. It's just kind of something that people fucking do dick measuring competitions about. But like you can still get the gold ranking. Like I have the gold community ranking because I've done enough of the community events. But like after I got that, I was kind of like I'm done. Like
I'm just like whatever though.
Yeah, exactly.
See, for me, if it's like a target for myself, then I'm fine with it. If it's like against other people, I don't really care enough. Like I'm not on TA for the ranking because like I've got no chance, right? Like I only just started a year ago. Like I'm doing it for me, not for anyone else. And so it's quite good for me to be able to track where I'm at, like track my gamer score, go in and check where I've got the achievements, if there's any help with certain ones that I need help with. My streak, that is very handy being able to track my streak on there. And actually knowing what games are like the best ratio and stuff, like I think that's fantastic. So I'm not really on it for that. It's a great tool, yeah. And I'm not in the forums either, so I have no clue what goes on. I never go into the forums unless I have to, or if I'm looking for a glitch, or I'm like, oh, what happened with this achievement, or is this game going to be fixed eventually, or something like that. I don't go anywhere to find these comments. So every time I hear someone talk about it, I'm like, oh, really?
You're not there for a community, which is I think understandable.
Yeah. Achievement hunting is like I don't want to say personal journey as well. Everybody has their own goals that they're setting. Like
or the own way of going through things. Like
like sometimes life gets in the way, and that happens. Like to me, like 1,000 that I put up this week, like barely anything, just because I usually average 3.
But I think that you're right, and I think that the reason the goals exist on TA is first of all because they want engagement with their website because it makes them money and it's a business, and of course. But I think that a lot of what people complain about in the achievement hunting community is burnout and lack of direction, especially when they have a backlog of 300, 400 games and like what do I play? And I think that the competitions are there to sort of push people to complete their games and play new things and kind of expand out. And I like. The ultimate head-to-head has started a lot of games in my tag that, some of them I wish I hadn't, but there are a lot of ones that I'm like, actually, this is like, kind of like, instead of looking at my collection and going, I don't really want to start that. I was like, well, I really need an E to spell out this word. So guess what? I'm starting this game, right?
I've got to get that one letter.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, yeah.
I'm not sure that we answered the question, but we kind of did. But we don't really use the feature, so it's a little bit hard for us to answer.
All right. Let's answer it again then. I don't think they're great. I think people in smaller communities can do a better job catering to their audience. Like we have a small niche community of achievement hunters, but ours is more of a like, hey, I need help with this kind of game. Do you want to jump in and we can do Mortal Kombat 11? And then they say yes. And then the original person forgets to hit them up again, and you just look like
an asshole. Yeah,
an asshole.
So, but
not talking about anybody in particular.
No. Just it's a hypothetical.
I'm kidding, Kruger. I'm kidding. We love you. That's fine.
No, it's all good. It's fine.
He's probably busy with the cats. Probably busy with the cats. He probably got one of the cats to boost with.
Well, I mean, if I wasn't in the office, I would have helped today, so it's fine. I will probably still help Mikhail. So it's all good.
But yeah, so again, I gave a few suggestions on some ones that they're like action games that will fit the criteria that are not terrible. That like you'll actually have a good time. Like because there's always trash you can dig up that just do in like 5 minutes if you really want the award. But that's kind of going against the spirit of it.
There's at least 3 in there that you could do that are decent enough. Like Kill It With Fire, Ember, and Rain on Your Parade are all 3 decent ones.
Yeah.
There's multiple others in there that you could do. Yeah.
Why did I say Fruit Ninja Connect and I'm like, I really want to play Fruit Ninja now.
No, you don't. No,
Oh
you
my
don't.
I know. I
That's
just want to play Fruit Ninja for me, not for achievements. I want to do Fruit Ninja for me.
What is this, fucking 2001? All right.
You do Fruit Ninja.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, let's move on then to the word challenge, everyone's favorite competition that for some reason no one's fucking guessing this time. But I guess maybe we made the clue too hard this time.
Maybe.
2 out of 3 guess.
Yeah.
2 out of 3. 2 out of 3. Our listeners will not guess this word.
Right. Exactly. So so the word challenge, for those who don't know, is I come up with a game. I've set up our bot and set up a GIF for it. You need to go into the word challenge channel on our Discord and guess what the game is. Every week I give a clue.
Mhm.
Cameron, yes.
I'm fingers crossing right now that one of the hosts have played this.
No, I was tempted. I was tempted. But no. Okay, so the clue was that this game has been played by 2 of the 3 of us. We don't know which ones, but 2 of the 3 of us have played it.
And the answer is definitely not Fogs, because all 3 of us have.
All 3 of us have played it. Yeah. I'm just thinking about it. Like, think about how many people have played how many games and on their tags. It might give you a bit of a clue on who it might be. Here's a bit more of a clue though. This game has a ratio above 2.5.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a baby game.
Interesting.
And you know me, I like my baby games.
Yeah, exactly. We all do. So that'll narrow it down quite a bit, I think.
We all do. Okay.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, no,
Just lump me in that bucket.
Look. No. You don't get to pull the holier than thou anymore. Okay. You fucking dipped your toe into it.
I mean, she's got like more mid-tier completions.
In for a penny, in for a pound on this. All right.
Well, okay. My ratio is 1.54, so I can't talk.
Yeah, exactly. Right. But yeah, so that's the challenge. The clue is in there. I've also added it to the channel. I will post in the channel after this. But if you're listening to the show now or watching it on Twitch, you get the inside scoop. You can only post once an hour, so I don't post any meme answers unless you're just wasting your fucking time. But if you happen to get the answer right, the GIF should show up. I mean, who fucking knows? Because I can't literally test it because everyone would know the answer. But if you get the answer right, you get $20. Simple as that. And we'll have a new clue next week.
I immediately thought, on the top of my head, I'm just like, I bet you I know what Charlotte's number 1 for ratio is. I was right. Human Fall Flat.
Human Fall Flat, yeah. All right. Cameron, you want to go through the Patreon?
All right. So the Patreon list is thanking our community for their wonderful support. We have Firehawk, Mad Lefty, G Spaceman, Admiral Awesome, Patron, Theo, Cobra Todd, Heavy Moogles, Kung Fu Seals, Poor Guy Barry, Hack and Prone, Cavalier 07, Old Mate Clan, Mark B, and Nick Love and Legend. Without you, we could not run our Troll podcast. Troll podcast, yes.
Sure, yeah. You mean this one or the other one that we do? Because I think they're both Troll podcasts.
I mean both.
But Cameron's 100% right. We do really, really appreciate it. We could not do the show without you. The money that you guys give us goes straight into equipment, into paying for hosting for the podcast and for Zoom fees and all that sort of shit. So and also for prizes for the competition, Cameron.
Oh yeah, the other competition. I was quickly going to say too. Also wearing the achievement shirt today.
Yes,
because very, very comfy.
So we do have multiple tiers. One of which includes merch. So we have a couple of people who have subscribed to that tier. But if you are looking at getting some Hall of Gamers merch, that's the place to do it. Because we get it at quite a competitive rate and try to keep the cost down.
In terms of the Patreon draw, it will be drawn next week. But for those that are unfamiliar, the Patreon draw is essentially I pick 4 really interesting games that I know are coming to Game Pass that are kind of like indie titles for people to check out. This month I decided to pick out Katie and Meow Meow Land, Ikai, Curious Expedition 2, and a musical story. Really hoping a musical story would be like a little bit higher up, but Katie and Meow Meow Land, Curious Expedition 2, and musical story have 1 vote each. Ikai is winning with 4, which is a horror-based.
Oh, okay.
It looks pretty interesting. So yeah, when that gets drawn next episode, we will go through our community list again. Somebody will be randomized, and the community will basically give picks, guessing it's going to be Ikai. By 3 votes. And yeah, and then if you already have it, we'll give you something else instead.
Yeah, we'll work it out.
Because we're nice guys and girls.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for that, Cameron. And we also like we said, we also do another podcast called Lights, Camera, and Action for our unfortunate patrons. Basically, it's a show where we subject Cameron to watching video game movies. It's some of the worst fucking movies we've ever seen, to be honest. So if you want to see,
are pretty bad.
If you want to see us suffer, we recently put up Blood Rain. Man, what a fucking piece of shit that was. We've got Sonic 2 in the works though, which Charlotte and I have already seen. Cameron needs to go and watch.
I'm trying to.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just letting them know. So we'll come away with that and hopefully have that ready for you sometime next month.
So when I go to watch Sonic 2, do I buy the basic tier, premiere tier, the ultra deluxe tier with the mirror mode unlocked, the ultra deluxe plus mode with the extra large popcorn bundle? Which one? Which one am I getting the most bang for my buck?
Whatever the one that lets you sit in a seat and watch the fucking movie so you can make some notes. Because we watched it weeks ago and we barely remember it. So we're relying on you, buddy. All right.
And we weren't even able to take notes. So
That's true. All right, well, that's kind of going to bring us to the end of the show. If you want to come hang out with us, we are on Discord. Yes, I will get to it. Discord.io/HallOfGamers is the place that can say hi. If you don't know what Discord is, it's basically a big chat room, ASL, that kind of thing. Say hi. We've got channels for all kinds of stuff, memes, the podcast, the word challenge, of course. So yeah, definitely jump in there. As we said at the start of the show, we've got Hall of Gamers Pod is our Twitch. You can come watch us live. So we really appreciate it.
In crispy 1080p.
Yes, we finally got it to 1080p. Not that anyone would know if they saw the YouTube videos because I upscaled them, but now that's going to make my life a lot easier. So thank you for sorting that, Cameron. We've also got a bit of an event happening coming up, Cameron.
Yep.
Do you want to tell us a little about it?
So next week we're going to do a 12-hour live stream for Game on Cancer, which essentially will be us doing the podcast, a few other fun things, a few other chaotic things that I'm hoping I can pull off.
There's a little bit of organization that still needs to go into it.
I've been busy. I didn't plan to have a job ever again, so yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, fair. And
we're working on it.
In true Hall of Gamers fashion, it will come together at the last minute.
Yeah, 100%.
Because it will be organized by me.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I'm not fucking doing it. No, that's actually not true. I've done a couple of things. But yeah, we're really excited. So yeah, again, you kind of have to come along and see. But we're looking to raise some money for charity. So we really appreciate you guys stopping by, and we're hoping to have some potential surprise guests and that sort of stuff.
And just come in and see us at some point in the 12 hours. We'd love to see you and chat with you and just keep us going. It is for charity, so it's worth it.
We're going to do like a few community games too. So like,
yes,
I'm going to make you to download Halo Infinite, even if you just have to play it on a tag. We'll do a few matches of that.
Okay.
We'll do Fiesta. We'll just let Chaos run. We'll do some Jackbox Party because I know how many degenerates we have in this community that will... This is something horrible.
I'm ready.
As long as we don't do that damn t-shirt game. That's the one thing. I'm not risking.
Okay, I'm not in for the t-shirt.
No t-shirt.
Black shirt, Matt.
No. I am wearing a black shirt. That's different.
Oh.
Martel asks if the surprise guest is Phil Spencer. Don't give it away.
Every I mean like we gifted it.
Yeah,
I'm kidding. Yeah, I can't promise things.
Don't bait.
No, don't bait. Clickbait is not how we go with this. We are a meme podcast, not like.
Yeah.
Number 6.
Just going through our Tiltify stuff at the moment though. So we have like 10 different was it 10 or 9 targets? Okay. But at the 5, like if we can make it all the way to 5k, I will shave my head.
Yeah.
That's
everything. The whole hair goes.
Yeah.
TOS, but
But yes, so
yeah,
again,
cool.
there will be punishments. We are going to be suffering. I may or may not have a costume of some sort. Which, if you're a long-time listener, you might.
250 Aussie dollar donation, and he wears it.
What was the other thing I was going to say? We've got Charlotte getting an achievement hunting tattoo. We've got Matt playing Forza Horizon 5.
Oh god.
We had Matt doing the 1 chip challenge. However, we looked up the price. It is not worth it to get it to New Zealand.
It's more than our
but
pays combined.
But
Jesus.
Shout out to Flight Bar and Bendigo because I have that in my town that does like a whole display of hot sauces does have the hot chip
boy.
challenge there. So I might sub out.
Okay.
I might sub in for Matt.
Okay, all right.
Dark Souls, me completing Mortal Kombat story mode with the dance mat. Charlotte doing ukulele.
Yeah.
Depending on how early it is, pizza ordered.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I think we might just order pizza anyway. But it'd be nice to.
I feel like we just order pizza.
I think maybe we just leave it out and then put a $20 donation and you get to choose the topping.
I might just order some pizza now. Actually, now that we're talking about it. But yeah, we're super excited. We'll have more details. So check out us on the Discord and on our Twitter. So if you want to keep in contact with us, our email is hallofgamerspodcast@gmail.com. And we also have our Twitter @hallofgamerspod. If you want to help out the podcast in other ways, subscribe to us on your platform of choice. Come say hi. Leave us a review. Tell your friends. Word of mouth, as always, is so huge for us. Talking about it in our boosting sessions and on TA and that kind of stuff. All right. Well, if people want to find you, Cameron, where can you be found?
Pretty much anywhere over like Shadowless Edge, or on Twitch doing stuff for work.
Great.
So publishing games.
Shadowless Edge _
Shadowless Edge _ or the Iterative Collective, which as well now.
Fantastic. Charlotte, what do you got to shill?
Oh, and YouTube. Sorry.
Okay. Not YouTube. I'm not on YouTube, so just Cameron. Just go look at Cameron on YouTube and our pod. It's his tube, yeah.
YouTube.
I have a link tree that has all of my links to everywhere that you can find me. That you will find on my Twitter, which is AudreyChar. On Xbox, I am AudreyChar. I'm occasionally friendly. I don't know.
I mean, I'm not going to vouch for that.
Okay, so there's two different opinions there. You choose which one's the correct one.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not doing this. Also, I hate you, I love you bullshit again.
I forgot what order we used to do it in.
Okay, no, but my catchphrase really is just don't talk to me.
Yeah, that's true. Sure. And if you want to find me, I don't know why you would, but I'm a Neomaster on everything True Achievements, Xbox, and Discord. All right, well, that's going to wrap up episode 36. Thank you for joining us. We will see you guys next week. Peace out. Badum diggity.
Bye.
I apologize for my co-hosts. You just have a lovely evening. And we'll catch you next week.
I'm cutting all that out, so that's fine.
Oh, no! Get fucked!
No. Cameron is cool.